in terms of the costs of doing this, what are the typical sort of fees and costs involved in currency transfers?
Minimal.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm sure, music to a lot of people's ears.
It is. I do think there is quite often this sort of misconception that you're going to get a terrible rate, and there's going to be big commissions come out of it. Which I would say for some providers that is the case, but I mean, our experience from our clients has been really positive.
Yeah.
So in terms of, there are no costs to use you up front, or
because you're sending sterling from your sterling account into our sterling account, so it's like sending money to a family member. It's a single currency transaction. We then do the transaction when the client's happy with the exchange rate and the figures and everything like that, and then we send the euros out from a euro account into a euro account. So again, it's another single currency payment. The banks in Spain are notorious for fees.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. And they'll charge you for everything. So we eliminate that. So it's another charge that's eliminated. So between the exchange rate, eliminating the charges from the receiving bank, ultimately the client is spending less sterling. Yeah,
that's good.
Which is,
good for the client. That's the aim. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, we have the same because we have a client account. So any transactions, the money tends to come to our client account. We then have a deal with the bank because of the business we do. That we don't have any charges for the transfers if they're in single transfers, and so we can avoid the bank charges for clients that way as well. So that works really well.
And they can be. I mean, we've had some horror stories of clients that we have the initial chat with, and going back to what you said about the kind of first-time buyers, they're a little bit nervous about introducing another company into the mix. I think it's just like an idea in people's heads that currency companies are going to, they're going to add on all these extra charges and that. They've gone off, used a bank or another competitor, and they come back into our office. We've had them physically come in with a statement showing that they've been charged up to 1% to receive the funds in. And then on the next transaction, they come to us and they say, "Oh, why did I not come to you in the first place?" And well, you can only give as much advice as
well, that's why we make videos like this, to give people the advice up front. But the other thing I've seen as well with some currency exchange companies is and banks as well, is they tell the client, "Don't worry, we don't charge you anything for the transfer," but then when the money lands in our client account, it's short, and that's because they've put all the fees onto the receiver rather than onto the sender, which obviously the seller of the property is not paying for the for that. So that's not something that you do either.
No, it's very transparent with us. We're very, very clear about the exact amount that you're going to end up with. Whether it be buying euros or if you're, for instance, selling a property, and we tell you exactly how much you're going to end up with in sterling. And that's what you end up with in your bank. There's no hidden. We don't like secrets.
That's good. That's good. That's why we work with you guys, just because the transparency for our clients is vital for us. So we've been talking quite a lot about kind of euros and sterling, but you deal with more than that. You deal with lots of different currencies, don't you?
Yeah, I think we're up to over 50 currencies.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And I know from experience that with a lot of our American buyers that there can be particular issues depending on which state someone's in terms of transferring dollars out into euros. And that's something you guys are used to dealing with.
Exactly. Yeah, we actually there's more and more American clients that we're dealing with, and that's across the offices. So we're not just in Spain. We've our head office over in London. We've offices in Portugal, Dubai, all over.
Fantastic.
So we do have a high amount of clients from America that are coming over.